anything we want to see, do, go over, have questions about? We'll talk about that later. If not, I need everyone to get off their phone, look at this calendar, and I want you to look and see what you notice. There is Unit 10 on there also. Unit 9 starts today, correct?
What is the sponsor? Oh.
It's like no PlayStation.
There's
What?
one. There's one. Anything
Alright.
else you guys
It's
see
a guessing
or
game
notice?
over, like, I don't know. Like, they don't know what you're talking about. I don't know.
Any of the concepts look familiar?
What are the concepts?
Everything we're learning. So solving multi-step equations, does that sound familiar? Yes. What about intercepts, parallel perpendicular lines,
Are we doing the same
compound inequalities, factoring? This unit is a review unit of stuff we've already done. So what's nice about that is that it's going to go back and replace whatever grades you had before. So if you were failing these objectives before, you have a chance to do better, and they can go back and replace them. To include the quiz grades, to include the Khan Academy grades that went with them, all of those things can be replaced. Bad part, those are actual grades that go in marking period 4. So you do still have a chance to retest them, but they only replace in marking period 4. They are actual grades that go in, so you do still have to do well in marking period 4. Okay. What questions do we have about that?
I'm confused.
On
Pretty much everything you said.
She said what she's doing.
Okay, you.
Topics.
Okay, no, I understand that.
so like this, what we're doing today was the first objective we ever did. So back in marking period 1. When we go to take this test, I'm going to go back to your marking period 1 grade, look at what you made. If this was better, I'm going to replace the grade.
And put it in 4?
I'm going to put it in both. In 1 and in 4.
Oh, okay.
Other questions about that?
So
Yes and no. So you'll also see that there's a Unit 10 on there, but then you don't see a Unit 10 test. Unit 9 is the last test we're taking besides the final. Unit 10 is our last thing we have to learn, but that will be tested on the final. Other questions, Chris? Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Okay. Any other questions? So those of you that were failing any of these objectives in marking periods 1, 2, and 3, you should really be paying attention, really be doing well, paying attention, writing notes, redoing Khan Academy quizzes that you may have been missing before, all of those things so you can better your grade. This is your chance to better your grade. Don't waste this opportunity. Okay? So we're going to start the notes with something that should be easy because we've been solving equations all year. These are the exact same notes we got at the beginning of the year. We're just going to go through examples, refresh our memory. On the calendar, you'll also see final exam dates, final exam review dates, STAR test dates, all of those things. We'll talk about those as we get closer to them. All right. What is a solution? What did we say a solution was? Tristan, can you hit new session for me? And then hit new session again. Thank you. Anyone remember what we said? Or what do you think a solution is? I asked you to find the solution to this problem. What am I asking you to find? The answer. How do we determine if something is a solution or not? So like if I said x equals -5 as the answer to this problem, how would I know? How could I check? Okay, so I could put this back in for x. And see, does that work? If it does, then I know it's right. If it doesn't, then I know it's not right. Okay, make sure you're writing this down. Alright, so go ahead and multiply that. Tell me what you get. Five. 65 minus 7, what is that? 58. So we can say this is a true statement. That is the solution. If it wasn't the solution, it wouldn't equal. So, reminder, double check your work, put it back in, see does it work or not. Questions on that? Go through, skip a couple pages actually. I don't know what's on your next page either. Yeah, whatever this page was is not showing up, but I'm just going to write it in. That's fine. Oh, here it is. There we go. If I ask you, how do we solve an equation, what would you tell me? In general, how do we solve an equation? What do we do? Multiply, divide, add, subtract. Use your inverse operations. And what's our goal when we solve to find the answer? So use inverse operations. To find the answer. Skip a couple pages. It's on that page. Which of these are inverse operations? Just so we are remembering and reminded. To find the answer. Which of these undoes the other, or is the opposite of the other?
Subtraction and addition.
Anything else?
Multiplication, division. Yes.
Square root, and using. So keep all those things in mind as we move forward and solve some of these equations. Now on this page, pick which ones you want to see, do go over, have questions about, want to review. 6. Just 2 and 2, okay. 3. So let's start with 2. So if our goal is to get m by itself, what would we do first? You can do that. There are multiple ways to do these problems. You could multiply everything by 4 to get rid of the fraction. So that would be multiplying on this side and this side, so this would become 40. The 4's here would cancel, just leaving m. This would become 8. But we still have to get m by itself. How would we do that?
Subtract 8.
Subtract 8 on both sides. That didn't work.
Could you do -2?
Yes, so from the beginning, you could have subtracted 2. And then how would we have gotten n by itself? Then multiply by 4. So as long as you get the right answer using correct math, it doesn't matter. For number 3, how would you start to get p by itself? There are multiple ways. Multiplied by. Okay, so you could do either. If you're going to multiply by 2/3, I might hold off on doing that. You could multiply everything by 3, and that would be the same process. Because then the 3's would cancel. That wouldn't cancel the denominator. You could do that, but it wouldn't change anything. That's incorrect. I think that's right. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Then how would we continue to solve for p?
So
And that would be, and then get p by itself by doing what? Divide by 2. So that p is
210.
that answer.
She
Multiply. Yeah.
for this offer. I thought she was a multiply from the things I do, but it just canceled her out and just leave it.
So you're multiplying 3 to 2/3,
Yeah.
and the 3's canceled. The 2 would still be there though.
Oh, so she's having her actually.
But you are multiplying the 3 to everything else.
Huh? You're multiplying 3 times 25.
You're basically distributing.
Oh.
How did you
I found them as well. It should be, thank you.
So how are you gonna multiply 2 times 3?
Here, I'm really doing this. This would really become 6/3.
Which is you have for like every
Fraction.
Yeah.
You could. You could have also added 25 and multiplied by the reciprocal, 3/2. Whichever seems easier to you. Six, we either have to get rid of the fractions or deal with them. Which would you rather? Get rid. So if we're getting rid of them, we need to multiply everything by something these both have in common. Do they both have 2 in common? Think about multiples of 3. 3 times 1, 3 times 2, keep going. 2 times 1, 2 times 2. What do they have in common when you multiply them out? 6. If I multiplied everything by 6, really I'm distributing, so I'm going to do that first and then everything's going to simplify. This will become 12x over 3 plus 6x over 2 equals 42. So still fractions right now, but the 12 and the 3, the 6 and the 2 can simplify. So what would we do from there?
How did you just switch?
Which 6?
So she's trying to remove things.
Correct. Because you can multiply 2 by 3 to get 6. So you're looking for something these have in common that you can multiply something by, them both by, and they're the same.
She just distributed to each. And I don't know how she was going to. That's what I was going to ask.
How we got this?
Yeah, what did
If we divided these, that's how we got this. So 12 divided by 6.
Okay.
What did we say we would do next?
Right.
Or just 2, 3, and 6.
Add them. We have 7x. And then, last step, divide. Any others on this page we want to see, do go over review. Which one did you say again? Did you still want to do it? Okay. So 10, we're trying to get k by itself. It's in the numerator. We got to get rid of the denominator by doing what?
Adding 12.
We could add 12, but not until we get rid of the denominator.
Multiply that.
So multiply by 9 on both sides so that these 9's cancel, just leaving the numerator, k minus 12. Then we would do what?
Add 12.
Add 12. To get what? Just pick up. This should be the answer. Skip a couple pages. And this one. What questions on this do we want to see, do, go over, review? Fine.
6.
Others, we have 4, 5, and 6. Okay. So let's start with 3. When you have variables on both sides, your goal is to get them on the same side and all the numbers, the constants, on the other. So how could we move this 3.3 to be on the same side? How would we move this over? Subtract it. And then combine your like terms there. So this would be negative 2c and divide.
38.4.
Some of you should be reviewing this and aren't. Questions on that one? So questions like 4 or 6, you have a fraction that equals another fraction. What's the first thing we do? Yes, but by how? There's a specific way. There's something specific we have to do. Cross multiply. Take this numerator, multiply it to this denominator, and vice versa. So we have 3 times 9x minus 3, and 9 times 5x plus 1. What's our next step? We have 27x minus 9 and 45x plus 45. Now you have choices. Your goal is to still get all the variables to one side, all the constants to the other. But what you do first is your choice. So what do we want to move first?
Add 9.
Okay. So we would be adding 9 to this 45. And then you can also do the next step at the same time. Get rid of this 45 because it has to be on the opposite side by subtracting. 27 minus 45 would give us what? And then when we divide both sides by negative 18, we get what? Negative 3. Now, I haven't done this for any of these, but at any point, once you get your final answer, feel free to put that back in, double check your work, see does this equal whatever, see if it's a true statement. If it's not, something's wrong, but they all should be. Questions on that one? Danny, Matt, are you writing it down? Number 5. What would be our first step? Still distribute. Don't let the fraction fool you, confuse you. Still distribute like normal. This side will give us 30m minus 18. This side in your calculator, you could do 24 times 1/3 or 24 divided by 3. Tell me what you would get on this side. M plus
4.
Then the process is the same. Pick what you want to move first.
Add 8.
Not add though, because it's already positive. So you have to do the opposite. And then we can add 18 to the other side. So we have 22m equals 22. And when we divide both sides by 22, what would n be? Questions on that? Do you have a question, Karen?
No, I'm not. Wait. How did you get 8n plus 4?
You multiply 1/3 times 24 and 1/3 times 12. Those should be the two numbers you get. So you can do that in your calculator. Alpha y equals.
Shut up. Alpha.
To get your fraction,
Oh.
and then multiply it.
Okay.
Number 6, what's our first step? Plus multiply again. It's another set of fraction equals fractions. So this numerator to this denominator, this numerator to this denominator. Does not matter which side you put on whichever side. You want to put this on the right and that on the left, it doesn't matter. Whoa. Distribute. We have 8n plus 64 equals 7n plus 70. What do we want to move first?
Subtract 64.
There is no wrong way to do this except not using correct math. Opposite, subtract 7n on both sides. How many n's will you have left? 1. So you can put 1 n and you can just put n. And then n equals 6. And that was your answer. Other questions on that page we want to see, do, go over, review? If not, go on to the next one. Okay. And we'll do the first two and then any others you guys want to see. What would be our first step in number 1? We have 5x plus 5 on one side, 15x minus 12 minus 10x on the other. Then what?
You had 10.
So here, or to the other side?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't. If you're doing it on the same side, you would do whatever it says, 15 minus 10. If you want to move it over, you would add. So it depends on which one you want to do.
So just subtract 10 from 15.
Okay. So combine these two to just be 5x minus 12. And then pick your next move.
Add 5. Both sides.
This side?
5x.
Okay. So not add, but subtract. What happens when we subtract?
Not 2.
They both become 0. We no longer have x. What type of solution is this? No solution. So as you're working, if your variables completely cancel and the numbers do not equal each other, that's no solution. Questions on that before we do the next one? How would we start number 2? Distribute again. 6b minus 3 minus 7 equals 6b minus 10. What would we do next?
Subtract 7 3.
Okay, so combine your like terms here, which would give us what? And then pick your next move. What do we want to move next?
Add 10.
Okay. If we add the 10, they both become 0, so we're left with this. Still have to get the variables on the same side, so you would either subtract this one to that one or this one to this one, doesn't matter. And what happens? They both cancel. 0 equals 0, is that a true statement? Yes. What type of solution would this be? Nora, would you say? Not one solution. Infinitely many. If we had gotten rid of the 6b's instead, we'd have negative 10 equals negative 10, which is also a true statement. If you get to this point and you see these are the same, the 5x's, but the 5 and the negative 12 are not, you could stop there and say that's no solution. If you get to this point and see that these are literally the same, you could stop there and say infinitely many. Questions on those? Look at the remaining questions on this page. Any of those you want to see, do go over and review. Are there any problems in general throughout the entire packet that you want to see, do, go over, review? So then, for the remainder of class, you can be working on one of these things. If you did not do these Khan Academies originally, back in September, the names of them are on the board. You can go through your past to find them. You can go and do them, and you can send me an email saying, I did these two. Even if you're just updating your grade, whatever that is. If you did them already and they're hundreds, then you don't have to worry about it. Moving forward, there's only one more Khan Academy that's going to be new to you that's assigned, and that'll be in Unit 10. So you don't have to worry about new Khan Academy, only past. But if you haven't done them, this is your chance to do them, redo them, get a better grade. You can be practicing these notes. Make sure you're fresh on all the solving methods. You can be doing past Khan Academy from the last couple of weeks if you haven't done those. If you did not finish your tests and want to do that, now is a great time to do that. I've not graded them all, so I can't give them back to you yet. But next week I should have them all graded, so you should give them back. Any questions on what we're doing for the remainder of class? Use this time wisely, especially